Recap. Emeka, a handsome but poor young man from the village of Umuoma, dreamed of escaping his impoverished life. Lured by tales of wealth and Legos, he ventured to the big city, where fate introduced him to Madam Clara, a wealthy but mysterious older woman. Their unlikely friendship blossomed into a marriage, driven by Emeka's desire for a life of luxury. Initially, Emeka enjoyed his newfound riches, a mansion, expensive clothes, and exotic travels, but soon discovered he was not free. Madam Clara controlled every aspect of his life and warned him never to enter a locked room in their house. Curiosity got the better of him, and behind the door, Emeka uncovered chilling secrets. Photographs of young men who had been in his position and a will that ominously listed him as the sole heir. As Emeka grew suspicious, a series of eerie events unfolded. He encountered a stranger who warned him to leave and began experiencing terrifying nightmares. When he confronted Madam Clara, she revealed her dark past. A deal with a mysterious figure had granted her wealth but cursed her love life. The price for her fortune was chilling her husbands, including Emeka, became offerings to maintain her power. The climax revealed Madam Clara wielding a mysterious, ancient book that controlled the cursed contract. In a harrowing confrontation, her true power was unveiled, trapping Emeka in a web of supernatural forces. The story ends on a chilling note, with Emeka facing a sinister fate that seems all but unavoidable. Returning to Umuoma after narrowly escaping Madam Clara, Emeka worked hard to rebuild his life, tending to a small farm on the outskirts of the village. Despite his efforts, strange occurrences began to plague the community, withered crops, eerie sounds, and unsettling animal sightings. Whispers of Emeka bringing bad luck spread among the villagers. During a heated village council meeting, Mama Nkechi stood up to defend him, reminding everyone of his hard work and resilience. While cleaning out an old chest Madam Clara had given him, Emeka discovered a hidden compartment. Inside was a journal filled with strange writings and symbols. Flipping through the pages, he found an entry about the balance and the price of broken deals. One passage read, "The debt is never forgotten. Those who escape the deal carry its burden forever." Emeka felt a chill. Was he now the one carrying Madam Clara's burden? The man in the dark Agbada returned, this time standing boldly at Emeka's gate. "I warned you," he said, his voice calm but menacing. "What do you want from me?" Emeka asked, trying to keep his voice steady. The man smiled. "It's not about what I want. It's about what you owe. The debt must be paid." "What debt? I didn't make any deal." "But you destroyed the book, didn't you? That act tied you to the consequences." Desperate to end the torment, Emeka asked, "How do I make this right?" The man's eyes gleamed. "There's a way, but it won't be easy. You must find and restore the balance." "What does that mean? Return what was taken, or offer something of equal value?" The man replied cryptically before vanishing. Emeka was left more confused than ever. What could he possibly return or offer? Emeka traveled to a neighboring town to visit an old diviner known for her wisdom. The woman, Mama Ebel, listened to his story and examined the journal. "You are caught in a web spun by forces beyond your understanding," she said. "To break free, you must uncover the truth about Madam Clara's deal and Baba Maya's secret." "But how?" Emeka asked. "The answers lie in the past," she said. "Go back to where it all began." Emeka returned to the ruins of Madam Clara's mansion. As he searched through the debris, he found a hidden door leading to an underground chamber. Inside, he discovered an altar surrounded by more symbols and a worn-out book. The book contained rituals and agreements made by Baba Maya. One page caught his attention. The balance can only be restored by offering the truth to the keeper. Emeka knew his journey was far from over. As Emeka studied the old book, he noticed a recurring phrase. "The keeper awaits in the land of forgotten souls." What does that even mean? He muttered. Baba Ikena's advice echoed in his mind. When the signs are unclear, the spirits often speak through dreams. That night, Emeka slept with the book beside him, hoping for guidance. His dream was vivid. He saw a vast desert with a single tree, and beneath the tree stood a figure cloaked in shadow. "Come to me," the figure whispered. Emeka shared his dream with Baba Ikena the next morning. The old man nodded solemnly. "The land of forgotten souls is no ordinary place. You must prepare yourself spiritually and mentally." Baba Ikena handed Emeka a bundle of charms and a small gourd filled with sacred water. "These will protect you on your journey. But remember, the keeper will test you." Ada, hearing about Emeka's plan, insisted on joining him. "You shouldn't go alone," she said. Though hesitant, Emeka eventually agreed. Emeka and Ada set out at dawn. The path grew increasingly barren, and soon they found themselves in an endless expanse of sand. Hours turned into days. The heat was relentless, and their supplies began to dwindle. Just when they thought they couldn't go on, they spotted the tree from Emeka's dream in the distance. As they approached, the shadowy figure emerged. Its voice was deep and echoing. "You seek the truth. Are you prepared to face it?" The keeper's first test was one of fear. The siblings were shown illusions of their worst nightmares. Emeka saw himself back in poverty, shunned by the villagers, and blamed for everything. Ada saw their family in ruins, with no hope of recovery. "Your fears are not real," the keeper's voice boomed, "but they hold power if you let them." Emeka clenched his fists. "We won't be controlled by fear," he shouted, breaking the illusion. The keeper's second test was one of truth. "You must reveal your deepest secret," the figure said. Emeka hesitated. Finally, he admitted, "I married Madam Clara for her money. I didn't love her. I was selfish and desperate." Ada, with tears in her eyes, confessed her own secret. "I've always blamed you for our family struggles. I didn't think you tried hard enough." The keeper nodded. Honesty paves the way to redemption. The final test was a choice. The keeper presented two paths, one leading back to their old lives, and the other to an uncertain future where the truth would be revealed. "You cannot have both," the keeper warned. Emeka chose the path of truth. "I need to understand what happened, even if it cost me everything," he said. Ada, though frightened, followed him. At the end of the path, they found a glowing pool. The keeper instructed Emeka to drop the journal into the water. As the book dissolved, images appeared on the water's surface. They saw Baba Maya, Madam Clara, and the stranger in the dark Abada. The truth was shocking. Madam Clara's wealth had come from Baba Maya's deal. When Emeka burned the book, the deal's curse shifted to him. "You have uncovered the truth," the keeper said, "but the burden of the deal remains." Emeka was devastated. "How do I break this curse?" he pleaded. The keeper handed him a small key. "Return to the mansion, unlock the final door, and you will find what you seek. But be warned, the price will be high." With the key in hand, Emeka and Ada returned to the ruins of Madam Clara's mansion. The villagers, seeing their determination, stopped spreading rumors and offered their support. Inside the mansion, they found the door Baba Maya had spoken about. Emeka inserted the key, and the lock clicked open. The room was filled with treasures, but at the center was a single, glowing orb. It pulsed with energy, calling to Emeka. The orb's voice resonated in Emeka's mind. "Restore the balance, and your curse will be lifted. But you must give up what you hold most dear." Emeka hesitated. "What does that mean?" The orb didn't answer. Instead, it showed him visions of his life before and after Madam Clara. Ada placed her hand on his shoulder. "Whatever you decide, I'm with you." Emeka reached for the orb, ready to face whatever came next. As Emeka's hand touched the glowing orb, it engulfed him in a bright light. For a moment he felt weightless, as if he were suspended between worlds. The orb's voice echoed in his mind, repeating, "You must give up what you hold most dear." When the light faded, Emeka found himself standing in a memory the day he first met Madam Clara. Everything was vibrant and alive, yet there was something off about the scene. The stranger in the dark, Ada, lingered in the shadows, watching. You had a choice, the orb whispered, yet you allowed greed to blind you. Emeka watched as his younger self stumbled into Madam Clara's life. The desperation on his face was unmistakable. She, too, seemed burdened, her smile masking a deep sadness. Suddenly, the memories shifted. He saw Madam Clara late at night, kneeling in prayer. "Please, let my wealth bring someone genuine into my life," she whispered. Emeka's chest tightened. He hadn't just used her for her money. He had betrayed her trust. The orb's voice returned. "Do you still wish to lift the curse?" Back in the mansion, Ada shook Emeka awake. "You were glowing," she said, her voice trembling. "What happened?" Emeka explained the visions and the orb's demand. Ada frowned. "It's not just about lifting the curse. It's about making things right." The orb's glow dimmed, leaving behind a single inscription. "Restore the balance by fulfilling her wish." "What wish?" Emeka asked, but deep down, he already knew the answer. Emeka and Ada scoured the mansion, hoping to find more about Madam Clara's life. Among her belongings, they discovered a diary. In it, Clara wrote about her loneliness, her longing for true companionship, and her regret over the deal she made. "I wanted love," one entry read, "but wealth only brought shadows." Ada looked at Emeka. She wanted someone who cared for her, not her money. "Can you give her that, even now?" As night fell, the mansion's air grew heavy. Shadows danced along the walls, and the temperature dropped. A faint voice called out, "Why have you returned?" It was Madam Clara's spirit. She looked at Emeka with sorrowful eyes. "You abandoned me in life. Why should I trust you now?" Emeka fell to his knees. "I was wrong, Clara. I see that now. But I want to fix this, if you'll let me." Madam Clara's spirit guided them to a hidden room beneath the mansion. Inside, they found an old painting of her younger self, surrounded by friends and family. "This is what I lost when I made the deal," she said. "I traded love and connection for wealth and power. If you wish to restore balance, you must find my family and return what was taken." Emeka hesitated. "How do I even begin to find them?" "The orb will guide you," Clara whispered. The orb lit up once again, revealing a map etched with glowing lines. Emeka and Ada studied it closely. The first location was a small village in Ogun State. With the villagers' help, they secured a cart and set off the next morning. The journey was long and fraught with challenges, but Emeka felt a renewed sense of purpose. "This isn't just about lifting the curse," he said to Ada. "It's about giving her peace." In the village, they found an elderly woman who introduced herself as Mama Ronk. She was Madam Clara's distant cousin. She was always kind-hearted, Mama Ronk said, her eyes misty. But after she gained her wealth, she disappeared. None of us knew why. Emeka explained everything. Mama Ronk listened intently, then handed him an old locket. "She gave this to me before she left. Perhaps it will help you." The locket contained a miniature map leading to Madam Clara's childhood home. It was a dilapidated structure deep in the forest, but Emeka and Ada pressed on. Inside, they found letters Clara had written but never sent. They were addressed to various family members, apologizing for her disappearance and expressing her love. "We have to deliver these," Ada said. "It's the only way to honor her wish." As Emeka and Ada began delivering the letters, something strange happened. The orb grew brighter with each successful delivery, its energy more vibrant and alive. The family members, though initially skeptical, began to share stories of Clara's kindness and generosity. "She was lost, but she never stopped loving us," one relative said. Emeka felt a weight lifting from his chest. For the first time, he believed they were truly on the path to restoring balance. What secrets does the orb still hold, and how will its radiant energy shape the journey ahead? As Emeka and Ada continued delivering the letters, they inched closer to uncovering the truth about Madam Clara's mysterious past and the deeper purpose of the orb. Will they complete their mission and restore balance? Or will new challenges arise to test their resolve? Stay tuned for the next chapter, where hidden truths are revealed, unexpected alliances are formed, and the true power of the orb is unveiled. Don't miss the next thrilling part of Emeka's journey. Subscribe and turn on the notification so you're the first to know when it's released.